Hello and welcome to episode 2 of my F1 2021 My Team Career Mode. Episode number 2 today for the Italian Grand Prix at Imola. If you didn't see the last episode yet, spoiler alert, it was a very hectic race. We came through in P3, Jack Aitken came through in P14, which is completely not bad for an F2 driver. This episode we are going to be driving the raced AI level. We will be changing this later into the episode, so you'll see what we change it to then. I think it's 93, but commentary me is not 100% aware of what it was, because I recorded this about a week ago. We're going to go into the standings then to see the results. As we see that Sergio Perez took the first win of the season with Lewis Hamilton in P2, and there we are in P3 then with the Speeste Formula Racing team, which we created in the last episode, which is going to stick around for one season. I have a special plan for every season. But you'll hear me talk about that more into the last episode of the season. But there Jack Aitken came through in P14, of course, and our team is currently P4 in the standings. So here's me changing the AI difficulty, indeed, to 93. So we are going to have a tougher race today. I don't know if it's going to be much tougher. I might change it after practice, but for now it'll be on 93 then, as we go into the Grand Prix. We're going to the R&D then to do another upgrade. We're going to do the rear downforce then, which is going to come in after this weekend. But it should balance our downforce back, because of course, in the last episode we got this front downforce upgrade, which we did finish. So now our car is a little bit unbalanced into Imola. We're going to have to deal with it. Every apartment's currently busy.
Department has requested you
so we can now go to this marketing, and we could get 1,000 acclaim for 7 racecraft. I don't think this is worth it. I feel like racecraft is very important. This early into the season, we really need our teammate to perform well. So I'm gonna go with decline and do nothing then. As we go into the activity timeline. As we're gonna do the second driver PR filming. The esports event of 4 days. We're gonna boost Jack Aitken a bit. And of course we're gonna celebrate that very good podium. We're not gonna do the chassis thing, because that doesn't benefit the other departments. I just don't think that is worth it, so we're going to ignore that. We do have a personnel department event then, which we're going to do.
Hey, the personnel team wants to
here we can get 1,000 acclaim for 50k cash. Now this wasn't just not a hard decision at all. 50k is basically nothing. We earned that in a single race, and 1,000 acclaim is quite a bit. And of course, we still need all the acclaim we can get for the secondary sponsors. So we're going to move on then, and we're going to get another personnel department event. Very busy then. It was 3 weeks, so that does make sense. And here we have to make a decision whether we want to boost the awareness or the racecraft, and the other one is going to be going down a little bit. Now, in the last episode, I was thinking here, I think I saw that Jack Aitken had a lot of awareness. So I did go for the increased racecraft and put down the awareness. And as we see here, I was right. His awareness is very high, so by putting this down and we're putting the racecraft up, we've made Jack Aitken a little bit more balanced, which should really benefit us into the race. So let's see if he can get a better performance this weekend, as we're gonna see if we can boost him a little bit more. And that's just not possible. We need 1 million at least, so that might be possible after this weekend then. But I guess that it's time for us to move on to Imola. Let's go to the practice results after we've changed our components. Well, we're not even going to change them, we're just going to see, but these are all the highest wear, so let's go to Imola, and let's go to practice. Welcome back then. After practice, we've got our full resource points, of course. Jack Aitken has 200 this time rather than 100, so that's going to help us. And we're going to look at the development boost, just like we did last time, which are very desperately needed, because we need a lot of upgrades. Right now, the fabrication limit is a little high, so that's something we're going to be struggling with quite a bit. I hope this isn't gonna neglect us too much. I hope we're gonna do good, but I guess we'll see over time. We are gonna do the most upgrades we can, of course. We've got quite a bit of resource points, and with the current limit, we are not capable of spending all our resource points. So we are gonna be doing it like this then. We are gonna be doing all the upgrades we can, and we're gonna get a major acclaim boost, which isn't yet gonna take us to level 5. But after qualifying or after race, we should have level 5, which means that we can get a second sponsor. And with that, we're instantly going to move into qualifying then for the Italian Grand Prix. Welcome to Imola then, into the pit box for Q1. No issues, luckily. We've got a completely sunny weekend ahead of us. Sun all qualifying around and sun through the race, so it shouldn't be hard at all to get around this circuit. We have now changed our engine components to have the least possible wear. We're gonna go out on a set of softs, because we need these runs. And as we go into the last corner then, we do hit a slight bit of the gravel, which is gonna cost us a couple tenths. We're gonna come out in P7 then ahead of George Russell. But of course this is very early into qualifying, so we go back into the pit box. And we're already down to P9. We're gonna advance time then, and we're all the way down to P17. So we do have to go out again. We do go out again. We don't hit the gravel there, which is gonna save us, like I said, a couple tenths. We are gonna do the DRS, and we do come across the line. And is it gonna be Q2? I thought we didn't make it here, but there we are then in P15. We did get through. Jack Aitken went out in P19, unfortunately, so he's had a bummer. Well, we are through into Q2 then, just like last episode. But let's see if we can get P11 again, because that would be very good if we could get P11 here. Sergio Perez tops the sheets then into Q1. We go into Q2 then with a set of softs, and we hit the gravel a little more there, so it's going to cost us even more time. Definitely not the best possible time. We come through in P5 then ahead of Kimi Räikkönen. But that is our only set of softs. So we are now down in P10. As we progress through the session, we do go down all the way to P15. And I do still have a set of softs. This is a worn set of softs. But we do save a lot of time, because I hit a lot of gravel traffic as we went through this lap. So here we are then, into the final two corners. Are we going to make it into Q3, or are we going to go out in Q2? I expect to go out in Q2, seeing as the AI level is obviously higher now. We shouldn't make it, because we didn't even make it last episode. 5 tenths gained and almost 6 tenths. But we're out in P14. Not the worst possible qualifying, but it could definitely have been better. But we should be in for a good chance for the race. We should be able to have a look at some points. No Q3 then,
Hello there,
but look,
welcome
let's
back
go
to
the
Imola,
race.
home circuit of the Scuderia Ferrari. We expect to see a lot of local supporters in red today. They've all turned out for what we have every expectation of being a sensational event here at the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. 3.1 miles of track here at Imola, featuring 19 turns, 9 to the right and 10 to the left. Remember that Imola differs from most other Formula One circuits as it's driven anti-clockwise. Let's hope no one forgets that today. The exit from turn 18 will probably be the setup for many of today's overtakes, leading as it does into the longest straight of the circuit and its only DRS zone. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary box. Ant, it's fantastic to have you with us here today, but I'm curious, as a man with experience out on the track, how do you stop those pre-race nerves from becoming overwhelming when you're lining up on the grid?
From the moment qualifying's over, you start to feel the adrenaline in your body build up and the buzz in your stomach as you anticipate the run down into turn 1. It's all a bit like going into battle, and the unknown situation makes you nervous. Those pre-race nerves are a good thing. The day you don't have them means that you don't care anymore. And of course you have to make sure that all the procedures are second nature to you, so that they're not taking up too much of your capacity.
Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Young superstar Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Lewis Hamilton alongside. Considering the rest of the grid, we have Bottas, Perez, Charles Leclerc and Norris, Ricciardo, Sainz, Fernando Alonso and Esteban Ocon, Vettel, Tsunoda, Pierre Gasly, the Rainmaster, Stroll, Raikkonen, Antonio Giovinazzi and George Russell, Aitken, Latifi, Mick Schumacher and Nikita Mazepin. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Welcome to the grid then for the Italian Grand Prix. As Chef is completely fucking muted for me as I did in the editing. But it's gonna be a one-stop then. From softs to hards is what we're gonna go for here today. We're gonna see if we can extend the first stint just a little bit, or maybe go to mediums, but the game won't let us. We check what the two-stop does, but that's definitely not gonna benefit us. So we're gonna pit on lap 11 then, is the current plan. Might of course change mid-race if I do decide so. We're gonna pit on lap 11 then. From softs to hards, And I was thinking if we could do the medium to hard strategy, but I'm going to choose not to and to be aggressive in the first lap. So here we are then, at 5 red lights for the Italian Grand Prix. And it is a pretty okay start. Gasly isn't too good away from 5 red lights. We're going to sort of stick in the middle of these two groups here, as we have a nice little view of 3 wide into the first corner then. As we're going to see if we can make a move down the inside. We've got Stroll on our inside. We're right behind Gasly then, as we almost hit his back there with our front wing, but luckily we don't. We're going to try to make a dive then, which causes us to miss the corner and get off the racing line, which slows us down quite a bit, so we're going to have a little bit of a gap here into the hairpin then. As we still got Stroll behind us, everyone is still in the race, no safety car thus far. A clean first lap. Jack Aitken, if we look onto the minimap then, is down into P21 unfortunately, so he lost 2 places. Let's see if he can catch up. This is now overtaking the Haas, or probably Mick Schumacher if I had to take a guess. Into this corner then, which keeps bugging me every time. You might see me take the run off then. On to lap 2 then, still behind Gasly. We are using ERS to see if we can make a move down his inside, maybe into turn 1 then. We are going to try to do it, and we push through. Push Gasly aside, pinch him off, and it's a nice little overtake as we're now looking onto the other AlphaTauri, Tsunoda. Into the second sort of mini chicane. I don't know if it's a chicane. It's a stretched out chicane, I'd say. Back into the hairpin then. Still with Tsunoda. Vettel ahead of him, Alonso there. As Jack Aitken is now still ahead of the Haas if you look onto the minimap once again. Gasly now on our outside though. He's going to try to make a second move. Try and get this position back. He spun! We hit Pierre Gasly! And if we look onto the minimap, there's a huge pile-up! We hit Pierre Gasly, and there's a virtual safety car. Latifi's got a 5-second penalty behind me. And now the FIA thought the incident was bad enough, so the safety car is out on lap 2 then. It's a lap 2 incident. We're in P13, but there has been a huge pile-up behind us. Lance Stroll is now out of the session. Let's look at a replay then of what happened. Here's me, with Gasly still behind me, onto this sort of mini straight. As he now goes around the outside. It's a terrible camera angle if I do say so. But into the hairpin then he spins. And everyone just stops for him. There's a huge pile-up. Stroll doesn't DNF yet. He's still driving around. There's a bunch of front wings around. I had no clue what was going on here. I had no idea what was happening when I was looking at this. But onto Pierre Gasly then. From the cameras, we see Stroll retiring in the background. He must have had too much damage to come back into the pits. But then onto lap 5, the safety car's coming back in. We've got Jack Aitken just behind us with the 2 Haas actually there as well. So they're doing really good. They didn't get their front wings damage. They're still up there. They in P14 and P15 now. So they're looking good. We're looking to overtake Tsunoda here, but also I really want to try not to hit Aitken. But he's my teammate. We already made Gasly spin. I would very much like to not make my teammate spin, so we're going to try to stay ahead of him. We're going to try to make a move on Tsunoda, because the points are only 2 positions away. We can easily get this, we just need to overtake 2 cars. We're not fighting for podiums anymore like last episode, we're seriously racing now. As Jack Aitken in P13, proving that this is probably about the right AI level. We didn't pit yet, Aitken didn't pit. Everyone from P16 and down has pit. We're still up here though. So we're gonna go try to make a move with Tsunoda, as Aitken is sticking behind like a good teammate. He's not gonna make a move, he's not gonna try to make a move, he's not gonna take any risk. So we go into this very annoying corner that I still do hate. We're still behind Tsunoda, we just can't get the speed. That AlphaTauri is mighty fast. Mighty fast. It's been almost a lap again since the last shot. So we're still here. Perez has now overtaken Haas if we look onto the minimap. I don't know what to do here. I'm just behind the AlphaTauri. He's fast. Aitken is slightly slower than me, not going to make a move. I have a feeling we're going to go into no man's land then within a few laps. And on to lap 8 then. It's not really no man's land, but nothing has really changed apart from the fact that Perez has Oh no, that's Norris! Norris is off. Last episode he didn't have luck, because he of course got a grid penalty. And now he's off into the gravel then. He isn't out of the race, he is still fine. But he did go off. I don't know what happened there, as we now make a really sweet move on Tsunoda then into the hairpin. That's a clean overtake, as Aitken has also passed him, so that's a little bit nicer teamwork there. as we kind of pushed him off to let Aitken through as well. But let's look at a replay then, as we look at Lando Norris, and I think that's Alonso. As they make contact and the Brit goes into the gravel trap. It's a terrible camera angle for me, that's my bad, but he still goes there, and I don't think he has front wing damage, luckily. But I think we'll see if whether he goes into the pits or not. But he's all the way down then into P21, because of course we still got Stroll with the DNF. And on to lap 11 then, we are now literally in no man's land. We've driven away from Aitken. We've
confirmed we'll
Vettel
receive
is
you at the
driven
end
away
of this
from
lap.
us. We are in P5, a lot of people have pit around us. I'm gonna go in one lap earlier then, because of course we pit on lap 12 was the plan. Before the race started, we are going to go into lap 11 then, because my tire wear is very high. I can feel my car sliding all around, so we're going to go in onto the hards then. Sainz ahead of us, Bottas ahead of us, but Aitken is in as well.
Jack is in the pits.
Aitken
Jack
makes
in the
the
pits.
choice to go in with me, and it's going to be a double stack then for our team, which is definitely not going to benefit him. So that's a waste for us then. That's really bad planning from him. He could have seen me go in. But he chose to follow me as he's now there.
You'll be
He's
racing as you leave
stacked.
the pits.
I'm
Complete.
gonna
Go
hope he
now.
doesn't lose positions, but he's definitely gonna lose time. As a lot of people are now passing us. We're down into P15 then. Now P16 as Alonso has passed us as well.
Look
It's
after
gonna
these
be
tyres now.
P16
We
then.
wanna finish the
Everyone's
race on
behind.
this
We're on
compound.
fresh hearts. But I'm wondering here, are points still available for us? Because everyone has made their stop. Everyone should be on the one stop, because the two stop is just no good around here. We're not looking too well. Onto lap 14 then. Perez is now behind us on softs. He's made another stop. I don't know what he's doing. He's like on a 3-stop or something. He is completely wild this race. We're halfway through the... Oh! Yellow flags? What's going on ahead? Who is that? It's Latifi. Latifi has gone off in the exact same gravel trap where Norris went off. What has happened to him then? This could be the exact same incident as Norris. I don't know. Let's look at a replay. There we are then. He's fighting an Alfa Romeo and the McLaren of Ricciardo, I think. And it's pretty much the exact same mistake. And I'm pretty sure his recovery is the exact same pattern Norris took. I don't know. Someone compare them in the comments or something. But I think that's a nice piece of AI there, where they both take the precise same runoff. Of course, we don't see Norris's tracks anymore. But I do feel like it's the same. On lap 24, then Russell is going to pass us. He's on mediums. He's faster.
Try to stay
We're
with him.
wheel
You might make a
banging with
mistake,
Ricciardo
but
then
still
into
regain
this
the position.
sort of chicane that I mentioned earlier. Make sure not to take the gravel trap like Norris and Latifi did. We're in the gravel! We've hit Ricciardo! We're into the wall! It's from wing damage. We're around. We gotta wait for these three to pass. It's an absolute disaster for us. We're around P16. Tsunoda passes us. We're in the gravel. We have full wing damage. We have to go in. I make sure not to hit Mazepin there, because that was very dangerous. But let's look at a replay then. What the hell happened here? Our race is ruined. We were ordered wheel banging with Ricciardo. And into the chicane then, we took the yellow breath start off. And we go into the gravel here way too wide, and we just spin it straight into Ricciardo. We're lucky not to end our race there, but we're all the way back now. I don't know what to do. We're here, all the way behind, as I sort of hit the wall there. I'm pretty ashamed of that, but yeah, we're around, all the way behind Mazepin even. So we're gonna have to come in then on lap 24 as I go very wide and very slow. Norris and Latifi have also overtaken us. Schumacher's right behind. And Max Verstappen on the minimap is there all ready to lap us, so we've been very slow this past lap, as of course we spun pretty early into the lap, because it's been a long way into the pit lane then. But here we are, we're gonna get a new front wing. We are gonna go into softs then, as there's only 7 laps left. And I wanna try to maybe overtake some people. We have been lapped, so our race is gonna end on the 31st lap then, rather than the 32nd lap.
Go,
of course, for the people who didn't know that. But we're in P21. Schumacher is 21 seconds ahead already, and it's gonna keep rising. I lost all faith there. I thought we were fucked. There is no way I could overtake more people. Sainz is here, then we're gonna let him go. Of course, he's not in our race. He's way faster. He's in a Ferrari. He may be on older tires, but he is just way faster than us. I make sure to check if we don't have floor damage. We don't, luckily, as I'm still getting used to the soft tires, of course, because it's a big difference from the hards. We're on to lap 30 then, the second to last lap. We're here into the real chicane.
There's 5 laps of fuel remaining.
As Jeff told us, we have way too many laps of fuel left, so I didn't really do that right. We're on to the final two corners, and Lando
Some
Norris
information
is
on
now out
Norris.
of the
They are
session.
out of the race.
Lando Norris, once again, with the terrible luck, has DNF'd. What has happened to him? We're onto the straight down, onto our final lap this is. Lap 31, Norris is ahead of the DNF. What has happened to him? Where is he even? Because he should be right up the road. No yellow flags, yellow man anyway. There we go, the yellow flags are here. What happened to Norris? Where is he? What has gone on? He's there. I think he just had an engine failure or something. He's on the side. Let's look at a replay then. As he goes around here. And his engine just kind of dies. The sound dies. There's clearly something wrong. There's no smoke coming out the back, but he does drive onto the grass. He does retire then. It's a terrible luck in the first two races for the grid then. As he of course took that penalty at the Bahrain Grand Prix. We're here then, lap 31, P20 since Norris retired, but it's a complete disaster race for us. After getting that very great podium at Bahrain. I'm not celebrating tonight, I do know that, as we do set our personal fastest lap then, saving 6/10, but it has been a complete
That's the end of the race. We'll see you in Parc Fermé.
I am not proud of this accomplishment. I am not proud of that spin. George Russell gets driver of the day. I don't know why. We'll have to see then at the results. He must have done something
And
impressive.
that's it then
Let's
for
go.
the Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. And what a sensational victory they've managed to pull off here. So Anthony, what made the difference out there today?
Without a doubt, the safety car changed everything today. The key to their success was keeping calm and reacting to the situation quickly. We've seen teams in the past throw away wins because they were too hesitant, but here they were decisive, and that's allowed them to take the advantage.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everyone at the team.
Max Verstappen wins the race and Valtteri Bottas in P2 and Lewis Hamilton drops to P3 after starting in P2, so the two Mercedes just switched spots. Max being very dominant this race with a 4.4 second gap. It's the second win for a Red Bull driver then in a row. Perez down in P10 after he made 3 pit stops. I don't know what went on with him, but he's made 3 stops. I don't think he had to switch front wings, maybe 1, but it has been a disaster for him. We're in P20, Jack Aitken P16 as he won 3 spots, of course mine, Strolls and Norris. It has not been a good race, as I tried to save the full race replay, but my disc is a little full. We dropped down into the 7th place, then into the driver standings. Of course, we were 3rd before this race as we got the podium last up, so we're now in P7 then as Max Verstappen leads the way rather than Perez. After he, of course, had a disaster and Max Verstappen had an okay finish, we dropped down in P5 then in the constructor standings after we were P4. Into this race, Red Bull leading by 8 points ahead of Mercedes. It promises to be a very close season between Red Bull and Mercedes, of course, just like the real 21 season. But I have no clue where we are then in the standings right now. I have no clue where we could possibly end up. We do go to Claire then as we answer a couple of interview questions. Why was it not as quick? I made a few mistakes. I am not going to lie. Of course, we had the spin. I hit the gravel a couple times, just slightly, but it does cost a little bit of time. None of us wants to be the person to back down. Yeah, our wheel banging with Ricciardo and our spin. I'm very ashamed of it. It's very sad. It ruined our race. But we're here then. We have reached acclaim level 5 after qualifying already. We're not going to gain a massive amount, of course, because my acclaim is not being boosted too much by this race. We, of course, also get 50k in damage deductions then, because we did take quite a bit of damage. This brings us on to $1.24 million then. But if you did enjoy this episode, make sure to leave a like, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.